Yo, I'm here first. Welcome to the RedE2Start podcast show. I don't know where Logan is. He's supposed to do the introduction. Maybe he did something wrong. Where are you at, Logan? I don't know.
I'm right here.
There he is.
I just thought that would be funny.
Wow.
He was not expecting it. Nobody was expecting it. Change things up. Booyakasha. Just like this week. Everything's all changed up this week. Nick is not here today, as you could see. Neither is Gabe. So it looks like it's just a two-man show. Mm-hmm. So stop. Everybody's leaving because Nick's not here. I'm sorry. Bye. Okay. How you been doing, D-Man? How's it going?
I've been doing pretty good, man.
We're going to talk about what you just did. So hold on to that. That's going to be one of the big topics of this episode. But thank you all for joining us. I hope you are coming over from my previous live stream right before this, where I started Kingdom Come to Deliverance. This game has been very controversial as of late because the developer apparently made a lot of promises that they didn't intend to keep. So far, so good. There's been performance issues, but hopefully the day one patch. I did get it early. There's a lot of issues, especially with water visuals and pop-up, but hopefully, I'm hoping the day one patch fixes a lot of that, as well as playing on the PS5 Pro. With that out of the way, D-Man, what have you been playing?
Well, Friday through Sunday, nothing. Today,
I
nothing.
Got
that. Well, actually, I did play like 2 levels of Mario Wonder like Saturday night at the hotel, but aside from that, I did stream Ninja Gaiden one more time last week for a couple more hours. I still want to finish all 3 of them before the end of the month, but I don't know if it's going to happen. But yeah, I played Ninja Gaiden some more. So that's what I did last week.
That's awesome. Me, I've been playing, well, as you saw, I was just playing some Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. What else was I playing? I was still playing a lot of my, what do you call it? Polymega. I've been doing a lot of retro gaming, as well as, what was the other game that I started? Oh, there was something else that I started the other day, and I was like, oh, this is pretty good, and I can't even remember what it was. Oh, Magic, I've been playing Magic, the Gathering Arena. Been getting into that as well, but
I did actually try Balatro. I don't own it, but my buddy Justin that I went with let me try Balatro just for the heck of it, and it's kind of cool. I mean, if you like poker and stuff. But
thank you, Cody, for becoming a member. Awesome. Glad you have become a member and become one of us. Thank you, good sir. Sorry about that, D-Man, but what is Balatro?
It was nominated for Game of the Year. It's a card game. I don't know how to really explain it. It was made by one dude, and it was up for Game of the Year last year. It's just some card game.
One dude made a card game,
yeah,
and he got nominated for Game of the Year.
Yes.
Yeah,
I didn't really. Yeah. I didn't really like delve right into it a lot, but my buddy Justin's he really likes it. I guess a lot of people like it apparently. So.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, I think it's really cheap. I might get it if it's really cheap to play for the heck of it. I'm not a big card game person, but I mean, if it's cheap, I'll try it.
I remember what the other game I was playing. I hooked up my 360 in the living room, as I was mentioning this earlier before the podcast went live. My wife wanted to play the karaoke games that we have on the PS3. I also hooked up the 360 to get Rock Band working, so we can play all that stuff as well. And I've been playing some freaking Rock Band. Got my guitar to work, making sure everything is working. Fixed up a 360 controller, so I'm looking forward to playing that. That's been fun. Otherwise, yeah, that's it. Otherwise, I think we're both looking forward to the same game this month, aren't we?
Yep,
Monster Hunter
pretty much.
Wilds. Were you
Yep.
able to get the pre-order for the collector's tin?
No, I didn't go for any collectors. I'm just gonna go pre-order a regular edition of the game.
Are you going to get physical or digital?
Physical. I have to.
See,
I feel
that's
like
the thing. I want it physically, but at least with digital, I can play it on all my PlayStations because I have one PlayStation
Mhm.
that's digital. But then again, if I have it digital, do I really own it?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
but I pre-ordered it. I pre-ordered it. So we'll see how that goes. I'm really looking forward to that. And then I think the next game we have after that is WWE 2K25 and
When does that release?
March,
Oh
as
wow.
well
Okay.
as Xenoblade Chronicles X.
Wow.
So yeah, that the next 2 months are pretty stacked, but after that, it seems like it's going to be pretty dry,
I might
except
wait on
for
WWE. I don't know.
Doom.
I haven't. So I tried 24 like free on PlayStation Plus a little bit. I didn't play it
Mhm.
a whole lot, but I hadn't physically bought a WWE game since 13 because that was right before the time that I got out of WWE until November of 23 was when I got back into wrestling. I gave up
Okay.
on WWE for years, for a long time, because I felt the storyline and everything was just going down the
Wait, are you
drain
talking
for
about the
at one point
games
for me.
or the actual
The
TV
actual thing
product?
I stopped, but the
Okay.
games I stopped too. I just stopped in general with WWE from like
Oh, so
2014 to 2023. And then I got back
you
into it once Triple H took full control and things started changing.
okay. So you did something similar to me, but I kept playing the games. I just wasn't
Mm,
watching the TV product. So I was
gotcha.
watching TNA. I was a big
Mm,
TNA guy from around 2007, 2008, all the way around until 2011, 2012, till about the beginning of 2012. And then I stopped watching
mm.
wrestling altogether until 2019 when AEW came around.
Oh, that's when it
And
started?
then, yeah, and then that's when I started watching wrestling again. I started watching
Mm,
WWE more the last couple years once
hmm.
Triple H took over.
Yep.
And then
Yep.
I've been watching a lot more TNA after it's no longer Impact because
Hmm.
Impact Wrestling was just awful, but it's
Hmm.
so much better as TNA again. And I've actually stopped watching AEW. AEW's unwatchable
I
these days. Like it's really bad.
That's crappy. That sucks. That really
Yeah,
sucks.
but WWE's really, really good. And
Hmm.
which brings me to Royal Rumble. Why are we talking about wrestling on this episode of Ready to Start Podcast, D-Man? Tell me why we're talking about the Royal Rumble.
Maybe a certain someone went there. I don't know.
What certain
Maybe
somebody
some.
went? Who? Who? Who?
Who? um, I think it was me and someone in the chat. His name's J Man.
Oh, J-Man, this guy right here who said, I challenge
Yeah.
Logan to play Balatro if he likes poker. I do like the poker. My wife.
What shout outs to him, because literally like so my boss last second just couldn't end up going because he didn't have money and this and that, and he couldn't
Oh, yeah, you
afford to
said
pay
your
me
boss,
back.
you were supposed to go with your boss.
Yeah, and then like I panicked a little bit and then contacted a couple people, but then I contacted J-Man and it all worked out, and he went with me for the weekend, which was incredible, and it was awesome.
I'm guessing he lives near you.
Yeah, he's like an hour away.
Okay.
Yep.
How long did it
Which
take you to drive there?
It's like 6 hours, give or
To
take.
drive?
Yeah,
Holy
6 hours
moly.
from my house. 6 hours. Yep.
That would
Uh,
be from me to. So I was looking at going to Really Rad Weekend earlier back in November,
mhm.
and it's about 5.5 hours from my house. So okay. So that's quite a bit of a drive. That's
That's the
quite a bit
longest
of a
I've ever
drive.
driven. He offered to take a turn, but I was just dedicated. I don't know. There and back, I drove the whole way.
Your
I was just
truck?
dedicated. No, I borrowed my
Oh.
parents' car for good gas. That would have costed so much money. That would have costed that would have been like $400 to go on in
What
gas by doing that.
what did you drive?
Ford Escape.
Okay. 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 So
Yep.
yeah, I could see that. It's like taking my wife's car compared to taking my truck.
Hmm.
My truck to go to North Carolina, we had to fill up. So we stopped. It was a 20 something hour trip from here to where we went to North Carolina, and we stopped in Savannah. I think we stopped in Savannah and then took the rest of the way through. I had to fill up 4 times. Four
Jeez.
times. Imagine, and gas was not cheap at this time last year.
Hmm.
And I have a truck, so
Yeah.
you know how prices are, and it was like $60 per tank.
Yep.
Oh, that was great. I think we filled up 8 times because on the way back we stopped in 2 different places in South Carolina, one at one end of the state, one at the other end.
Hmm.
So yeah, but I'm glad did the trip go well? Did the road trip go well?
Yes. I will say yes on the road trip there and back. That was solid.
Okay, you didn't get drunk or anything, right?
No, no.
Oh, you
Heck, wouldn't
paused
I
there.
would have
You're
been
like,
no, no, no. We didn't go anywhere to get drinks and stuff. Besides, like with the amount of people, 67,000 people there. Like even like every bar or place that we walked into a restaurant to get lunch at one point, and there was no seats, nowhere to go whatsoever at all. So majority of like the popular places with a bar and stuff, like we probably wouldn't have gotten a spot in those places anyway, at least on Saturday, because they were all just packed, jam packed, all the big places with bars.
all right. How many days did you say?
We went Friday through Sunday, but we didn't get there till Friday
Okay.
night at 1:30 in the morning
Oof.
because we
Okay.
both we
So
both had to work and he had to work till 6, so I didn't leave till about 6:30. Plus here it started snowing a lot and the weather was terrible
oof.
at like 4:30, so I had to wait a little bit longer to try and get the weather to cooperate. And by the time after I picked him up, the rest of the way for the most part was just a little wet for a little bit, and then after Michigan it was just dry and completely perfect,
Wait, you
smooth.
said it was snowing?
Yeah.
You know what it
Like
was this weekend here? You know what the
hmm,
high was?
hmm.
81.
On Sunday, I did not want to leave Indianapolis because the high was like 53 or 54. And I'm like, I'm out here like, this is so nice and warm. And
That was
I
my
it was
low the
it
other
was
night.
wonderful.
Yeah, I think it was what 50, 54, 55 at the low. When I
Not
got
big.
home the other night,
Nice.
it was because I had to run to Walmart for something. It was 61. By the time I got home, it was like 59.
Man,
That was the low.
love that weather. I love that
No, you
weather.
don't. It gets too
Yes, I
hot
do.
here. Like
I mean, I don't like
the weather
90s.
here
I don't mind
has
80s in the daytime. I love 80s in the daytime. But 90s
the
is kind
thing
of pushing
is
it.
the thing is 80s in the daytime and 50s at night is really tough when you decide you want to go out. So say you're going to Royal Rumble, right?
Yeah.
You go out during the day, you do your things, you're in t-shirts and shorts, and then you go to the event or do other things and you leave and you're freaking freezing because it's in the
Mhm.
low 50s.
That's what
And
happened, actually.
yeah, it's nuts. Wow, Cody says it's 8 degrees where he is.
Jeez Louise.
That's a little cold. Right now it's 75 degrees and clear.
Man.
Gotta love Florida. So
I'm sure it's like
what did
20 here.
now all the talking about around the Royal Rumble? Tell me the things that you did. Tell our audience what you did and what you found the most exciting and fun about Royal Rumble.
Well, first off, Saturday. Well, the reason why I wanted to go Friday night into Saturday early morning is because I badly wanted to meet Matt and Jeff Hardy, and the wait. I only waited 2 hours to meet them, which
That's not bad.
was no. I have a buddy that met them a couple of years ago. He waited like 4 hours, and it was only a 2 hour wait, and it wasn't I mean, granted, we got there not too long after they opened, about 15, 20 minutes in, and there was already a huge line. I feel like the line was a lot bigger. Like after waiting for like an hour, I guarantee people had like a 3 hour wait or so. But yeah, 2 hours wasn't bad. Funny enough, just today they announced the Hardys are going to be at Motor City Comic Con, which is only an hour away from me. I'm like, of course. Right after I meet them there, they're freaking coming to Motor City. Go figure. I mean, depending on other guests, realistically, I could go buy some action figures and get those signed too or something if I really wanted to meet them again. But I don't
Right.
know. They announced a bunch of guests for Motor City. But started with that, got some food or whatever, and the Rumble. Well, parking actually was weird because I went to a parking garage that you had to call a phone number for the gate to open, and then after you open the gate would open, and then you'd park, and you wouldn't pay for the parking till after you leave, and it was that just kind of confused me. And then I had to like call someone for assistance or something to be able to get it to go through to where the gate would let us out.
Mhm.
And it just didn't make sense to me because I paid for parking ahead of time, so I guess maybe I lost some money because maybe I parked in the wrong area. I don't know. That was kind of confusing, but I'm never gonna pay for parking ahead of time again. So I just pay for parking wherever when I get there, find somewhere in a parking garage or whatever the heck. Getting out wasn't horrible, but the Rumble. One thing about the Rumble, I will say, that tag team match that they had, nobody cared. Nobody cared about the tag team match they had.
With DIY
Yeah.
and Motor City?
Yeah.
Well, apparently everybody loves Motor City and no one gives a crap about DIY, and they're really trying to push DIY, but they're just not over.
Dude, during that match, the bathrooms and food lines were packed. Like, there was so many people not in their seats because I went to go to the bathroom when it was starting, and there was a big line at every bathroom in that stadium. It was ridiculous. It was yeah. Yeah. He's not wrong. He is not wrong. But
we don't like eating here in this podcast. We are anti-USO here. I'm sorry. It looks like I'm by myself.
What?
I'm sorry. I'm not an USO fan. Not an USO
man.
fan. I don't like either of them. They're not terrible. They're decent tag team wrestlers, but okay, we're going to cut to the chase. Winner of the Royal Rumble? Winner of the Royal Rumble.
I think he deserves it, man. I think he deserves it, man. I don't care.
Do you honestly think he's going to? Apparently, he's going after
win.
Gunther. He's going to win. Not going to beat Gunther.
Yeah, he is. Yeah, he is.
It's not believable.
I think it's going to happen.
The only way is if he cheats. He cannot beat him. No. Honestly, he cannot beat him.
I mean, it is Gunther.
The ring general. He's beaten
he is a beast.
Everybody.
He has. Yeah. But it's at Mania. Like the Saturday night main event thing, I knew he was going to lose Gunther, but it's at Mania. They might give him his moment.
If it's at Mania, they'll give him his moment, but I don't think he deserves it. He's not a main event wrestler, no matter what his shirt says.
I mean, look at the crowd everywhere he goes, man. He's got the crowd.
It's just because he's got something that's easily chanted.
Well, yeah. I like the yes movement.
I was going to say something stupid there, and I realized, yes, you did see it. Tell me, when Joe Hendry came out, how loud did that place get? On TV, I was like, I've never heard anybody chant for a TNA wrestler like that, dude. And I've been to hundreds of TNA events.
I called it. I freaking called it. He was going to be in this Rumble. I freaking called it. They're going to go with Joe Hendry's going to be in it. No one, I don't care. I don't know if anyone else from TNA is going to, but Joe is going to be in it. And man, what a pop. That place was, woo!
Like, that was loud.
It was very loud. I did not expect
that. Yeah, that's the thing. I wanted to ask you, how loud was it? Because on TV, it always comes across one way.
Man. I feel like
at the venue, it's always different.
Same with Alexa Bliss. He said Joe Hendry and Alexa Bliss. Crowd went insane. Yeah,
she had the Fiend jacket on.
Yeah, those two. Oh my gosh, like it felt, especially Joe Hendry when that music hit. It felt like I am so incredibly happy I went there because, like, compared to SummerSlam, this was way better. Way better. The crowd was better. Everything going on. Like, Joe Hendry, though, like, it felt like one of those big pops, like when Edge returned or when the Hardys returned at Mania, like one of those type of pops. The building just, it was crazy. It was everything
I'm calling it now. As soon as his TNA contract ends, WWE's going to be like, how many millions do you want?
Yeah.
And he's going to be to the moon. He's going to be WWE champion faster than Cody Rhodes. I wouldn't be surprised if Cody holds it long enough for Joe Hendry to come in and Hendry defeats. You know how big of a pop And
Yeah.
that would be
Yeah.
insane if Joe Hendry, the TNA World Champion, comes into WWE, defeats the WWE Champion who used to be an AEW EVP. The world is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Dude.
so was there? Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch the Royal Rumble. I was going to. There you go. Somebody asked in the chat if I watched it. I was working at the time, and then while I was finishing up editing, I was watching D-Day Cobra, and then everybody just said all the results as they were happening, and I'm like, all right, I'm not even going to bother watching it. But were there any other surprise entrances besides Braun Breaker destroying that speed dude, which was hilarious?
Destroying Ice Shell Speed. That was so funny. That
Like,
was
he broke
so
him.
funny.
He broke the kid.
Yeah.
Is that kid not dead?
He ain't dead. He's alive.
Because Scott Steiner was commenting on X about how Braun Breakham, he's like, I don't know who that kid is, but he killed him. It looks like he killed him. I was like, and they kept showing from the different angles. Where were you sitting?
Oh, we were way up high, like on the left side of the entryway.
Okay.
Yeah. So we had a really solid view.
Okay, because I do know that depending on if you zoomed in, you have the S23 Ultra.
Yeah, I zoomed in.
Yeah, so you got some pretty nice zoom in on there. So I'm like, how close was he really?
Yeah, no, I was far away.
Okay.
Sure.
So that must have been a hilarious watching Braun Breaker just destroy him.
Oh, it was so funny.
What about when he threw him over the ring rope to what's his name?
Otis.
The other Otis.
Otis.
Did people pop? Good. Like, how was the pop?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Let me tell you something though. The funniest thing, and I loved it because I was with the crowd on this whole thing. When Otis's music hit, we thought it was one of Chad Gable's guys or whatever the heck, and it was just like boo. Yeah, it was boo, and then suddenly the screen goes to Otis, and everyone's like, yeah. That was good. That was just hilarious.
Is that Alpha Academy or American Made? Alpha Academy was Chad Gable's old one, and his new one is American Made.
Oh, okay. Well, people thought it was his guys. And that's why everyone was going boo. And then it showed Otis suddenly on the screens, and everyone was like, ah, yeah.
How funny was the Nakazawa thing?
That was just wow.
So ridiculous. He said next year he hopes he gets I think it was like one more step closer to the ring. But
it's freaking ridiculous, man.
How did they do that if he never actually got eliminated? How did they call that? I didn't see how they. If he never got eliminated,
Triple H. Who brought him back? I don't think Triple H did, but Triple H was in the back and then like was looking around and then seen Speed and was like, "Go, you go." Yeah, that's just how they called it.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
but what was besides the Rumble matches? What was your favorite match besides either of the Rumble matches?
I mean, Cody versus Kevin was the only other one that mattered. So tag match didn't matter. Nobody cared.
Did you? To me, the Cody Kevin match didn't matter. Cody wasn't going to lose.
Well, yeah, I know he wasn't going to lose, but it was really entertaining. It was really fun.
Oh, what do you think about this? They should add DLC in the new WWE game for some TNA wrestlers.
Oh,
what if there's a TNA DLC?
Oh,
you have I would go nuts.
I can see it. I can see it happening. And you know what? I'll get the Hardys, and I'll be.
You know what?
Yes.
They might do like a TNA pack and have like TNA legends, or have certain TNA wrestlers like Joe Hendry. It would be smart to release DLC with Joe Hendry. People would pay.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh, what if they bring back the Nick Nemeth? Oh, he got Dolph Ziggler back.
Right.
Were there any other TNA guys that showed up at the Royal Rumble?
No, he was the only one. Joe was the only one. Yeah.
Yeah, considering they're doing a thing with NXT, that was really big to have him in the Royal Rumble.
Yeah. How about Nikki Bella being number 30 for the women? Do you hate her?
I don't care.
Like, don't care. Yeah. She got decent pop. She got decent pop because it was surprising. People were expecting AJ Lee.
Yeah, but she can't wrestle. She
Yeah.
had I forget what that physical issue she had.
Mm-hmm.
Like I know I heard she's been training again,
Mm-hmm.
but what do you think about Charlotte Flair winning?
It's kind of expected, in a way. I mean,
Charlotte Flair. I knew they weren't going to put over Jordan Grace. So, but she's really tiny.
yeah.
I didn't think she was that small, but for her to pick up Nia Jax like that was nuts.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So,
Strong
and
lady. Ooh.
I'm surprised that Jade Cargill didn't come back.
Oh yep. Yep.
She must really be hurt if she didn't come back.
Mm-hmm.
So, but what happened? What time did you guys end up getting out of there?
Well, we got out pretty easy out of the. We hung out in the back, like down some floors till I wanted to look at the shops, and I didn't look at the shops early in the day or anything because the lines were just stupid ridiculous. That's one thing that I didn't like versus SummerSlam. So when I went to SummerSlam, there was like a shop on each floor or something. Because when we went up to
Right.
the top floor, there was like no one in line. I just bought what I wanted to buy right then and there when we went
That's
up
usually
there,
how it is on a
which was
lot of
really,
wrestling events.
which was really cool. I just bought what I wanted right then and there. Whereas this, there was one shop, one truck outside for a shop, which had massive lines, and then there was two shops on the second floor. I think only two shops, and that was it. And I didn't go to them till after the show. And then the stuff I kind of wanted was sold out. I bought a couple things like this American Nightmare shirt, but
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
yeah. But I mean,
So J-Man says there was quite a few big names that weren't there.
Randy Orton, he must still be hurt.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. That didn't surprise me.
I didn't realize he
Uh,
was like actually legitimately hurt or just took a break. You know,
yeah,
I
he
didn't
was
know that.
legitimately hurt. So,
That sucks.
but how long was it? How long was the event?
Like 4.5 hours. It ended, I think, like 10:30 ish. Yeah.
Wow. Was there
Yeah.
a pre-show or anything, or was just the
Mm-mm.
was that
Mm-mm.
all pay-per-view?
All pay-per-view.
Oh wow! But Royal
Mm-hmm.
Rumbles are pretty long, and now the fact
Yeah,
that there's not just one, there's two.
Yep. Both over an hour. Yep.
Yeah, it's. I'm sorry, it's hard to watch the women's Royal Rumble because they just don't get as, I guess you
Hmm.
could say, physical as the guys do.
Yeah.
You'll get once in a while they do, but that's one thing I've noticed after watching the last few years. It's like the women can wrestle, but in the Royal Rumble they don't.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I heard this year's Royal Rumbles were kind of a letdown, especially with John Cena not winning.
I mean, I don't hate it because he gets to be in the elimination chamber, but I do wish he had one. But I mean, I think he's gonna win the elimination chamber. I really do. The only thing I'm at this point of, okay, Jay could win against Gunther. Jay wouldn't win against Cody. If Cena wins elimination chamber, it, I don't I just don't know who they're gonna give the belt to over Cody. You know, and Cena's got a limited amount of time. So would Cena actually beat
Do
Cody if he went for
do you
Cody
think
instead of
do
Gunther?
you, do you think that they're going to put Cena against Jay Uso, and then he's going to take his shot because he's going to beat him for some reason, and then Cena goes against Gunther and then takes out Gunther?
Hmm. It's hard to say.
Because think about it this way. This is what I was thinking about. They're not going to put Cena over Cody right now. Cody's too over.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Even
Right.
though he's not as over as he was, he's still too over.
Right.
So bringing back Cena, what's the next best title to give him? The World Heavyweight. So
Right.
he gets the World Heavyweight, and then there you go. It's kind of the same, right?
Mm-hmm.
But he would have to take Uso out of the way.
Yeah.
But people would get pissed because Jey Uso would be screwed over at another shot. But
Yeah.
I think giving it to Cena makes more sense money wise and marketing
Mhm.
wise and
Yeah.
getting people to watch than Jey Uso.
I just I hope that he does get the 17-time world champion before the end. I really do. And I think Mania is that moment. I mean, I get Cena wants to like push other wrestlers and this and that. Like I get that. It was probably his decision to. He might have been part of the decision of making of letting Jay win that Royal Rumble because he realistically probably could have said, "Yeah, I want to win,"
Mm-hmm.
if he wanted to, because he definitely talks with the creative team and all that, no doubt for sure. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to predict how this
Well,
is going to go with
that's the
Cena.
fun thing about wrestling is sitting back and just making all this fantasy booking and saying, what if, what if, what if, what if? And that's one thing I noticed we don't get to do because you and I are pretty big wrestling fans now. Nick, I want to say he is,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not something that we usually get to talk about, especially on a gaming podcast. But
Right.
it's still fun to do at this time. You know, it's like what else is there to talk about in the gaming world? So let's fantasy book some wrestling. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, yeah, but I'm glad you had fun, and thanks for sending the
A
photos.
blast. It was a
So yeah,
blast.
there was one point in time where I look at my phone and I'm like 9 texts. I'm like, who
It's
do
just
I have
all.
nine? And then I open it up and it's like boom, 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 boom. The Hardys, the Hardys, the Hardys, the
Yeah.
Hardys, the Hardys. I was like, oh, that's sick. I'm looking at them like, oh, that's badass. That's bad. Some of them I liked how they were like real quick and blurry, but you're like,
Dude,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, the guy was amazing. That guy actually, like, when we were earlier in line, we were just chit chatting with him and stuff, and then he had to go do other stuff. And then when we get up there, the dude, like, I normally I expect pictures just regularly up close with them,
Uh
but
huh.
this guy just, it's not like I'm asking for these things. That guy just kept taking photos. Like I gave him my phone, and he just did the rest. And it's like, oh my gosh, that's
Was
so
it a
cool. He
dude in
took
line or one of the dudes that worked for them?
one of the workers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it's so cool. 'Cause
So
if it was like somebody else, I might not have as many photos, so that's cool. So I'm gonna get one of those framed. I already got my one hung up, my autograph one hung up. So
that's really cool. So I was really happy to see that. I've not met the Hardys myself. I've met quite a few TNA guys and ECW guys.
I walked
And
right past Joe Hendry. I could have met him if I
really,
wanted to. I walked right next to him, dude. It's crazy. And then my buddy Justin, Jerry Lawler was like close to the Hardys, his little booth, and he walked right past us. My buddy gave him a fist bump. He's like, "Yeah, the king." It was like, it was so crazy just seeing all these legends around us, and some of them were just walking past because to go to their booth or standing there meeting people or whatever. Like Joe Hendry wasn't even sitting down at his booth; he was standing up meeting people, and he had his belt with him and everything. And it was like, oh, this is so cool, man. Walked right past Rikishi and seen RVD down there. It's like, oh my gosh, like where
so
am I right now?
that's pretty cool. We actually have TNA coming to Impact to Orlando where they're Full Sail where NXT normally films. It's going to be
Mhm,
TNA that week. It's in 2 weeks from now. But
mhm,
unfortunately, when I was looking at the tickets, when I went to buy it, all the good seats were sold out. So it was only the crap seats, and they
mhm,
were still like ridiculously overpriced for the crap seats. And I'm like, ah, and they had a live Impact Live and an Impact taping. But I ended up not going, and I really, really regret not buying, like, not jumping on it sooner because I wanted to
mhm.
get ringside seats. So maybe I could have been on an episode of Impact again. Because the last time I was on an episode of Impact was 2010, 2011. Because I used to
Mhm,
get ringside seats back in the day when they filmed at Universal Studios.
mhm.
So, but I miss going to live wrestling events. So
Man,
yeah,
there's nothing
that
like it,
must have been
man.
nuts.
There's nothing
I
like,
think the
I mean, that's up there. I mean, 67,000. That's close to WrestleMania numbers. It was the biggest Rumble ever, and to witness in person like pop like that with certain
uh-huh.
wrestlers, man, there's nothing like that. Like my voice was gone by the end of the night. It was at
Yeah.
SummerSlam too, but this one it really was just gone, man. I
The only WWE event or pay per view that I went to was SummerSlam back in 2009, 2010
mhm,
when they were in Miami, whichever year that was. Otherwise, I've been to AEW Revolution. I've been to AEW Dynamite, AEW Bash at the Beach, a number of TNA Impact tapings,
Mhm.
Revolution X, TNA Genesis, a lot of the TNA events, and WCW Sold Out and WCW House Show back in the day. But that was way before your time. No, you were alive in the year 2000.
Oh yeah,
It was sold
of
out. It
course.
was sold out 2000.
Hmm.
So that was that's was at the Miami Arena. No, the Miami Arena, which no longer exists, was a WCW house show,
Hmm.
and it was the American Airlines Arena at the time is where I saw WCW Sold Out, and
Hmm.
that was right right after that arena opened up. It was nuts. This is a long time ago in a
Hmm.
galaxy far, far away. So, but wrestling is fun. Wrestling has gotten much better, and WWE has
It's
gotten much better in the
yeah.
last like year and a half.
I'm wondering if The Rock's actually going to come back at all close to Mania. If they're going to do anything with him this year like they did last year.
Well, they
Hard
kind
to
of
tell
wiped
yet.
their hands with the whole Roman versus The Rock thing.
Right. Right. I'm like, I don't know. I will tell you what though. It was disappointing knowing number 30 was Logan Paul after 29 came out, and it was like, oh, it wasn't Logan, so it's not a surprise. And then it had to be Logan Paul for number 30, and it was like, oh, well, that sucks. We were doing so well here. Like the start, when what?
No, that was funny. That was
Oh,
fun.
well, the start with Ray and then Penta came out. People,
Yeah.
we were losing our minds. We're like, oh my gosh, this is the crazy start to the freaking Royal Rumble match. Holy crap. These two in the ring together. This is so insane. That was a really good start. But then, despite Logan, the when we had Cena, Roman, and Punk in there staring each other down, and then Seth's music hit, man, it was like, oh my gosh, this is so hype. Just like that moment right there was also like amazing. Also, Cena's pop was pretty dang loud, even though we knew he was in it. Like Cena's had a pretty loud pop.
Well, hold on. John, you're no, that's you're wrong. I remember going to the WCW at what do you call it? American Airlines Arena when it opened, and Miami Arena for WCW house show, and WWE. It was WWE SummerSlam in 2000. Like I said, it was. I want to say it was 2008 or nine. I can't remember. But yeah, I did all that down there. But dude, that's really cool to see all that and to be able to experience a Rumble. I've never
Yeah,
seen
man.
a Rumble before, and that's pretty cool. There's been a Mania in my area. There was a Mania in Miami, and then there was a Mania in Orlando, and I think there was was the Mania in Tampa? Yeah, they were supposed to do it for COVID, and then they did it the first one out. So within driving distance of anywhere from me, and I never went to one. But my
Mhm.
buddy Lich, who's been on the channel, who's the guy I started the channel with, he's been to the Mania when it was in Miami, and I think he
Mhm.
went to the one that was in Tampa last year or year
Mhm.
before, whichever one it was. So, but that's pretty freaking cool. So unfortunately, I don't have anything that cool that I'm going to. But this weekend we've got I've got on what is today? Today is the
Third.
3rd. So in 3 days, MegaCon Orlando starts. It's like the biggest con in the South.
Mhm.
So you
That's
got
cool.
Motor City Con, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Motor City Comic Con.
We
I'm
also
thinking what
have
else is in that area?
we have Astronomicon, it's called. I haven't
Mm-hmm.
been to that before, but I have a buddy who goes, and he sent me. He said he goes every year, and that I can go with him this year if I want, which is cool. It's in April because he showed me that Lita and Trish Stratus are going to be there, and I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. I mean, I
Yeah,
wouldn't mind possibly meeting them.
I think the other con there's Florida SuperCon, which is a smaller version of MegaCon, and that's in Miami. And then there's also Dragon Con in Atlanta, but the
Mhm.
biggest one is MegaCon down here in the South, and you get celebrities. This year, the amount of celebrities is ridiculous.
Motor City last year in May was insane. It was so packed because of the celebrities. November not wasn't so bad, but like May was just it was
Didn't you
crazy. I
go to
think that
Motor
was when they
City?
had. Yeah, I go both times, May and November. But the one in May last year, I think, was when they had the guys from Back to the Future there. They were both there, I think. It was,
they were at
man.
MegaCon last year. This year, it's like I want to see the entire cast of Smallville. They have the
Mhm.
entire cast of The Flash. They have Dolph Lundgren, who played He-Man in the original He-Man movie. That's who I'm gonna see. I gotta buy my
Mhm.
tickets tonight. And my wife wants to meet. It's everybody from Supernatural except for Dean.
Oh, okay.
So she wants to do that. The tickets are kind of expensive for just to get one picture, and I'm like,
Mhm.
but
Oh yeah.
it's like
Oh
for
yeah.
me, it's Dolph Lundgren, it's He Man, and I want him to say like just one thing, just one thing. And if you guys have ever watched the movie, at the end he says "Good journey." That's the thing that they say, and
Mhm.
I really want him to just say "Good journey." And I'd be like the little kid in me would just go, "Yeah, He Man said good journey," you know. So, but I am going to be doing that this weekend. Now I think it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. I'm only going
Mhm.
Saturday. I'm going to be there all day Saturday. Um, there is a little asterisk on what I'm doing because the other day I put up a post, a community post, saying why I wasn't able to put up any content. My wife was in the hospital. She has her sciatica's been acting up. She's having back problems, and it's been really bad. Like
Mhm.
it's been up and down the last month, and the other day was just really bad. And
Mhm.
she couldn't walk. She was just hunched over, and she's been in
Oh.
a lot of pain. So she's on some medications and stuff like that. So she may not be able to do all MegaCon all day, as well
Mhm.
as the Geeks and Gamers meetup, because I'm going to be there at night for the Geeks and Gamers meetup at Universal. If you guys want to do that, there's a sign up. I don't know if there's any tickets left. It's free, but I'm going to be there. I know Jay's going to be there. Jeremy's going to be there. Gary from Nerdrotica, a bunch of other people. Unfortunately, nobody from Craig or Blabs from Side Scrollers. They said they aren't going to be there. So there's Star Wars series going to be there as well.
Hmm.
I'm pretty sure Ripa from Young Ripa from Ripaverse, he's going to be there. A lot of people, so it's going to be pretty fun. But my wife may not be able to go because of her back issues. So I might have
Mhm.
a free spot to go with me. So I don't know. I might bring my buddy Alex or something like that. Different Alex from the one that all you guys know. But yeah, so I'm gonna be there and I'm going to buy all kinds of stupid shit, mainly video
Mhm.
game oriented stuff. There's a company called Super Limited Games. I always buy whatever they have every year. And it's funny because the guy who owns Super Limited, uh, his mom runs it, that that stand, and she remembers me every year, and then she always apologizes saying her son's so busy, but they've talked about him, being a guest on my channel, interviewing him or the podcast or something like that. And I'm like, okay, that's it's she always apologizes because of how busy he is. I'm like, it's completely okay. So I'm gonna buy some stuff there, and that's probably it. But the
Mhm.
best thing is I got my t-shirts in. Every year I get uh I guess you could say special t-shirts made specifically for myself and my wife. So this is the first one. I have it over here. You guys might recognize this one.
Yeah, that's nice.
So it's the new avatar for the channel. So the red bandana gaming RAF controller, of course. And then this one. This is the other one that I was using on Instagram. The lion with the red bandana.
That's cool.
So these are the ones I'm going to be wearing. My wife has her own custom one that if you guys have seen it, you guys can buy a version of it on our Teespring, which is the cat riding the raptor. So she has her own version of it, and she's got that one as well as the Ninja Turtle one. So we're going to be wearing those. If you guys want to come out and meet us, we will be there on Saturday. We talked about doing like getting a booth and stuff because we also have books and everything. I have a lot of art that I do and also my own book. So if you guys want,
Hmm.
there's that as well. But I have that. We were going to do that. We were going to sell some stuff, Red Bandana Gaming merch, do a meet and greet. But yeah, I'm not big enough yet. So I was like, I think once I hit that 100K, maybe I can, but
Mhm.
we'll see. Maybe we'll do some kind of meet and greet when we all decide to do the um, Epic Universe thing.
Mhm.
So, have you decided when you're going to Epic Universe yet?
No, not yet. It's gonna probably be a while. It'll be this
Really?
year. It'll be
Okay.
this summer. Absolutely. I just don't know when yet. Definitely not
So,
like when they open them.
like I
We're
said, I
thinking
got my
maybe
tickets for
July,
June.
but
Okay.
it might be July for us. Because
Let
in
let
May
me
I'm going to PAX East, so it's like that's kind of close, price
right.
wise and everything. Going one trip and then one the next month, so I'd probably rather wait 2 months between. So
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to make it to any con anytime soon because I'm going to Ireland and London in March.
oh, that's
So
cool.
Ireland and the UK, we're staying in Ireland for a week and then London the next week. London's for business, but Ireland is just because it's been on my bucket list. But
Mm-hmm.
yes, John, Saturday. Whoops, Saturday. So
Um,
Cody says you coming to his
uh,
home, D-man?
I don't know.
He said
Oh,
Boston
okay.
is his turf.
Yeah, okay. Then I mean, I'll be over that way for PAX East.
He's like, come visit me. And I'll be like,
Come to PAX East.
see, that's what I tell people. They're like, hey, let's do a meetup. Come to this place. This is where I'll be. You
Yeah.
guys can meet. But I don't know. A lot of my friends aren't going to MegaCon this year because we've been the last 2 years, and they're like, this year. So I don't think I'm going to be at MegaCon all day. I
Mm.
think it's going to be, we're going to go early in the morning. We'll probably be there in the afternoon. I'll leave in the afternoon. I'll go home, clean up, nap, whatnot. Of course, because I'm old, I got to take a nap, and then go to the Geeks and Gamers meetup. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, and then yes, John's like this Saturday, but Daytona in 2 weeks. Yes. Now I'm contemplating going to watch the ARCA event at Daytona, which is the day before. I think is the 14th. Because if you guys know him, Cody Dennison, also known as Camelot 331, he's going to be racing. And I talked to him saying I want to go support him. And he told me what day he's going to be there. So I might see if I can go out to watch that and support Cody. And if you can, sorry, it's a different Cody Dennison, Camelot 331. Like I said, if you guys are in the area, go support him. So that would be awesome. Hopefully he does very well. I don't know if he'll come in first. I hope so. It's like reminds me of that song Jerry was a race car driver. So, but Cody was a race car driver. Okay, you're too young, D-Man. D-Man's like, I don't know.
Uh,
And so, yeah, with that being said, there's really not much else going on.
mm,
So, what else can we talk about? Because we haven't even hit an hour yet. We've talked about the
shoot.
Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
We've talked about the video games that we want to get and
Right.
MegaCon.
Yeah. I'm hearing
What
rumors that Mania might be in Indianapolis next year. If that's the case, I've never been to Mania. That'd be wild. That'd be an
dude,
experience to go at least once in your life to Mania. Like,
you know how
oh,
expensive those tickets are? Even the nosebleed are in the triple digits.
yeah. Well, uh, I'd have to see what the prices are. If it's a few $100, I'll pay a few $100 for the nosebleed top tickets. I don't care for Mania. At least I'd get a group. Be like, hey, we're gonna plan this ahead. You guys want to go to Mania? Let's do this.
But would you do both days?
Oh,
Yeah, you just went crap. It's
you're
two
right.
days.
You're right. You're right. You're right. Oh
And if you
crap.
only do one day, which day would you do?
Right. Yeah.
It
And I don't
depends
think
on
it's
what the card is for each day.
yeah. That's a lot. Oh man. I didn't think about that till now. Freaking Mania being 2 days. I don't know if it'd be worth it then. It's too much money.
It's a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah. Vegas, I can't imagine those prices for Vegas even in the nosebleeds. That's just definitely ridiculous.
Yeah,
Not
it's
worth it.
yeah,
Not
yeah.
worth it.
I'm like when they came down here, they were pretty expensive, and I was like, yeah, I could just drive there and drive back, but still, I don't want to be on the road with all those people coming out of Mania.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten to the point where I'm just kind of old, so things like that are just like I want to do them, but fighting the crowd afterwards,
Mm-hmm.
like even fighting the crowd getting out of the Creed concert a little while ago. What was it, last month? 2 months ago? Was it December? I think it was December. And then before that, we saw Kane Brown. Just getting out of the concerts is like
Yeah.
getting out of downtown Orlando is oh. And
Oh,
I
it was
remember
both Royal Rumble and SummerSlam were awful. SummerSlam, I was stuck on the top of roof of a garage for 2 hours before being able to move at all. Rumble wasn't quite as bad, but that's only because we hung out after, like we seen the after show guys, which was kind of cool. We were like right over there, and plus I wanted to check out the shops and see if there was anything extra. So really, we blew about an hour before we went to the car, so it wasn't so bad. Whereas
that's yeah.
SummerSlam, we went right to the car because I already bought what I wanted to buy before the show, and yeah.
That was like when we were getting out of AEW Revolution. The the arena that it's in is in the UCF arena, and the parking garages are tiny. So trying to get in and out of there was a pain in the butt. And that was
Mhm.
2022, and did I think we were in my wife's car at the time, so it was a little easier. But good God, if I trying to get a truck or my Camaro in and out of those, that
Mhm.
is nuts. And we spent, I think it was about a good 2 hours trying to get out of that parking lot too. It took us a
Mhm.
while to get home. The Dynamite wasn't that bad, but now it's like trying to get in and out of an AEW pay per view. It's like walking down an empty hallway. You're completely fine. No one goes to them. Have
Oh,
you
geez.
seen the amount of people that are in those venues now?
Not a
Nobody
lot.
goes. They had to change the AEW in Grand Slam in Australia from a stadium show to not just an arena, a small arena show, because they only sold like 15,000 tickets altogether. And they
That's so
originally
crazy.
expected like 30, 40,000. That's
It
why they
it
dropped and then they dropped. It might
kind
be
of
even less than 15,000. It might have been like 9,000 or something. I heard the ticket sales were very bad.
bums me out that Edge wants to end his career in AEW too. Then, man,
See, I don't
I
want
get it,
anybody
but
to end their career in AEW anymore. At one point, yeah, but I was like, Kenny Omega, jump to WWE. Take that pay, get that fame.
mhm,
But
mhm,
I'm like, I don't want
yeah,
AEW is now number 3 in my opinion. They have the presentation of a number 2, but TNA, like TNA is selling out. They sold out Genesis. They sold out everything. Their last shows
mm,
have been complete sellouts
that's awesome.
at larger venues than AEW. They
Mhm,
just need a better TV deal. I get
yep,
Anthem owns access, but put them on a better network or at least give them a streaming deal.
yep,
Imagine if they were on like I don't know, Peacock or or
mhm,
Netflix.
yep, yeah,
Man, I would watch them all the time. That's the only reason I don't watch Impact is because it's on Access. Nobody freaking
mm,
has Access.
yeah.
Ah, I see that. Okay, but I don't know. I still enjoy it. AEW is unwatchable. I've tried to watch it once in the last like 2 months, and the longest I got through any episode of AEW was about an hour.
Hey, it's where
And
where the group home goes, man. That's where them old dudes go for some reason.
it's like it's not even the old guys, it's the rejects. It's
Mhm,
like, hey, we want a good payday, but we're tired of playing second fiddle to these other guys in WWE. And I'm like, look at Ricochet. Ricochet, he's
mhm,
talented, but he's awful on the mic.
mhm,
Mercedes Monet, Sasha Banks, she is so good in the ring, awful on the mic.
mhm.
And it's like Edge or Cope. How awful is that being called Cope?
Yeah.
It's just like, and what are they doing with the Death Riders? Stupid name. The group is, it was so much better as Blackpool Combat Club. So much better. But John Moxley as a champion again. Yeah, that's going to put butts in seats.
Not in AEW, really.
Nothing puts butts in seats in AEW. Free tickets don't even put butts in seats in AEW.
Oh man. I never even really gave it much of a chance. Well, actually, that's because I wasn't into wrestling for a while. So by the time I got back into it,
Yeah, it was
AEW
already
back,
bad.
so- yeah, exactly. So it didn't even matter anymore to me.
All righty, Cody. Good night. Thanks for being here.
Hey, Cody.
Yeah, we're actually going to call it soon because since there was no video game news to
Literally.
talk about really, and we were just decided to talk about events and wrestling and cons, considering it's just one of those weeks. Hopefully next week, from
There's
what I've been told, over the next week we're going to see a lot of news that's going to blow a lot of people's minds.
play. I
And
think
that's coming out
there's
of
a state of
Xbox.
play coming in a couple
Right.
weeks. I think. I don't think that's
Um
in the next week
I
though.
actually it's going to be within a week
Okay.
before Valentine's Day.
So that's within 2
And
weeks.
right.
Yep.
And then we're supposed to have another Nintendo Direct this month.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it.
Same, because it's like, what are they going to show when they're not showing Switch 2 yet? What is there really
The
to
end
show?
of the Switch. The end of the Switch. That's all I can say. But
Oh yeah, there's a
don't be
Pokemon thing this month, I think too. Right? I think there's a Pokemon Direct as well this month.
I don't think they're going to do a
I
Nintendo Direct
think
and a Pokemon Direct in the same month.
let me see if they're actually. I swear there's a Pokemon Direct this month.
If there's a Pokemon Direct, that's the Nintendo Direct. And then we might get another one later.
Let's see.
It doesn't make sense for them to do a Pokemon Direct, a Nintendo Direct, and then April to do another Switch 2 Nintendo Direct.
Yeah, maybe they're. I don't know. There's all them leaks and stuff on Nintendo Directs and
Yeah.
Pokemon Directs, and it's just like.
Well, from my understanding, this new PlayStation State of Play, we're going to see Xbox games on that State of Play.
Oh, yep, yeah. They're gonna show Forza, which we already know about. They're gonna show.
I think we're going to see world premieres of Xbox games
Mhm.
on this PlayStation State of Play. I think this is where they might announce the Gears of War trilogy. I think this is where they're going to announce whatever other Xbox exclusives, because that doesn't exist anymore, because Microsoft is now a third-party publisher. Yeah, we're going to see them there. And to be honest, I want Microsoft to say, hey, we're done with consoles. There's no reason to make any more. They can make a handheld Game Pass player. I think that's all they need. But the Xbox as a machine is dead. It's dead.
Yep.
There's no reason to own one. Put Game Pass on Switch 2, put Game Pass on PS5, and then later PS6. Yeah, that's it. And then call it a night. But
there's apparently their Pokemon Day is on February 27th. So that's why people are expecting a Pokemon Presents live stream, probably.
But what are they going to show? Pokemon ZA?
Yeah, pretty much.
Is it Z to A or Pokemon ZA or Pokemon ZA?
We don't know. It's like, is there going to be 2 games? Is there going to be 1? I don't. We don't know anything about it.
I'm hungry.
That's
what I do know. I didn't eat. I had a sub earlier today from Firehouse, and that was it. I've only eaten once, so I need to go to the gym. And it's 10:30. Normally we're here a lot longer than 58 minutes and 50 seconds.
They're saying
there really isn't much to talk about.
Saying that supposedly there's a potential reveal for Generation 10 of Pokemon. Since Scarlet and Violet were 3 years ago,
but ZA isn't going to be
no
Generation 10.
No, so that would mean that there would be more than that. Then that would mean
because Scarlet and Violet sucked.
Yeah,
that was the last. Like, I think Sun and Moon were better than Scarlet and Violet, and I didn't like Sun and Moon.
Right.
I got like 2/3 of the way through Sun and Moon, and I went, "Oh, okay, I'm done." But I really, really loved Sword and Shield. Sword was one of my favorite Pokemon games, and what was it, Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl? I actually like those remakes. I enjoyed them. A lot of people didn't because, oh, it's the old style. Screw you. It was fun. But, I wouldn't mind seeing a new Pokemon game. But what would they call it now? Pokemon Double Fisted? I don't know.
Rock, paper, scissors.
You do know that's what Pokemon is, right?
Basically, yeah.
Like people, it's just glorified rock paper scissors. So,
Yep.
but hey, we'll see.
Hey, we hit an hour. We hit an
We've
hour.
got
Yay.
hey, we've got this PlayStation Direct coming up. We've got games to play this month, so I'm not worried about it. Monster Hunter, and then Xenoblade Chronicles X, and WWE. After that, there's Doom and Ninja Gaiden 4. We're
Ascension
going to be
33. So.
Expedition 33. Yeah, we're going to be eating pretty well this year. I think so, even though there may not be a ton of good AAA titles, because we know you how much you're looking for Assassin's Creed Shadows.
Yeah, game of the year. Game of the year, dude.
That game's going to be so awful. Ubisoft's going to go out of business because of that. Oh,
Ubisoft's going to be the #1 publisher. Like, it's going to sell 50 million copies in its first year. It's going to bring back, the game's going to be so good that at the end, you're just going to not expect it. And then, like, after the credits roll, you're going to see Ezio just like give the Thanos grin from the end of Avengers. And then it's just going to be end. It's going to end. And it's going to be like, see, Ezio's coming back. Assassin's Creed lives.
Your cat's getting up there. He's like, what is this bullshit I'm hearing?
I don't know.
Oh, that is great. You know what? That's the best special guest we've ever had. That's it. We can't beat it. It's time to end Ready to Start podcast on the high note. We can no longer ever defeat this special guest. Look at him. Get closer to the camera. Come on. Let's see it pop up closer to the camera. Are you trying? It's like, look at the camera. Look at the camera. Yes,
he just looked up, but it's too high. It's too high.
Okay, well, there you go. Hey, there we go. Well, what's his name?
Chester.
And he's Orange Cat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had an orange cat growing up. His name was Mocha. His favorite thing to do was attack feet.
No, don't go there.
Does Chester attack feet?
Yes.
Orange cats.
Yep. Thankfully, most of his energy goes outside because he's indoor outdoor.
Okay. Yeah, see, my cats were always indoor, but once I turned 30, I ended up getting I'm allergic to them.
Mm-hmm.
So I love cats, but every time I play with one, I have to wash up because I start to break out. So that's what happens. This is the best scene I've ever seen.
Get down.
Here you go. No, right there.
Oh my gosh.
Cat butt. Cat tail. There you go.
Get down. He doesn't want to.
There you go. That's
the heck. All right.
That's his way of saying be legendary. See? He's giving his tails up. There. There he goes.
There.
Okay. Alrighty. That's one way to end it. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this video. Make sure you subscribe to D-Man's channel. Link in the description below. And if you haven't subscribed here, what are you waiting for? Hit that subscribe button. So is there anything you want to shout out before we call it a night, D-Man?
I'm gonna try streaming more Ninja Gaiden probably this week. Other than that, I might film a video. I might.
Okay.
I haven't made a video in a minute, so I might film something.
Yeah, I see you've been streaming a lot more. Unfortunately, you like to stream at times when I can't watch you. So sometimes I'll just go, and I'll be a lurker and Don't just pop it on my phone and just do it while I'm doing whatever else. So I can't always chat, but at least there's somebody there. So, but I don't know. What'd you think about my stream tonight? Should I start streaming games again?
I mean, I don't see why not.
It's about the time, but thank you guys so much. Appreciate it. Thank you for joining us for this odd episode of Ready to Start podcast that end on the highest note that this podcast could ever end on, with a cat getting in front of the screen, putting its face. There you go. Chester wins. There we go. Good night, everybody. Thank you so much. Like I always say, God bless you all and be legendary. Thanks again.